Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk in English about whatever we need to talk about, especially something interesting to us. And also this is a part of the exercise. You can use your English, not only learn for fun, but also use it in your daily lives. Okay? Alright, okay. Today I'm going to talk basically two topics. First, I'll respond to the President Donald Trump saying almost every student from a certain country is a spy. I'll respond to that one. The second one is talk about some analysis on the meeting right now is going on in Beidaihe, right? All right. Give some analysis and a prediction, and let's see what will come out from that. All right. Okay. For the first one, well, we know there's some quite controversy or argument after Donald Trump in the secret meeting or whatever, not secret, talking to the business people. It says privately he mentioned from a certain country, every student here is a spy, and people know that he meant China. Well, and that caused some problem for a lot of Chinese students or scholars and whoever from China here. Okay, and some people asks what's happening and why no protest or no collective activity against it. Why don't cry out and let's say protest to the White House and what we think, who we are and things like that. We should respond to that. Do we? All right. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. All right. I'll let you know this first. Is the statement almost every student over here from a certain country is a spy? True or false? That's my first judgment criteria. All right? First one, criterion, of course. First, true or false? True or false? All right. Before we go into that to analyze it, we need to know something called in Aristotelian logic or modern logic called quantifiers. Quantifiers. All right. Quantifiers. There are two kinds of quantifiers, at least two, and I think actually three. Right. First one called universal. Universal one means everything in a certain set. All right, certain set. It's every element in that one included. That's called universal. The second one is called existential. Existential. All right, that means okay. First one we say all of it. Everyone means all of it, right? The second one is some, we may say, all right? And for the universal one, we have the other one called a none. All right, okay, here we go. From this statement, almost, that's what Trump said, and it's reported like that. Trump says almost every student from that country over here is a spy. All right. So the word here, quantifier, is almost. And if we translate his words into here, into the Aristotelian logic, it means some. Right? There exists at least one student over here from that country who is a spy. Right? That's certainly true. We got to know that. All right. So, at least one student is a spy. All right. Think about this. the absolute truth, the conclusion we get from this is at least one must be a spy, if it's true, right? Okay, so if there's one is true, should everybody else worry about it? The conclusion is definitely no, right? And that has nothing to do with most of the people over here, and you don't even need to know about that, right? That's a job of the FBI or CIA or whatever, whoever interested in it, to find out who the spy is, right? So you don't need to worry about that. That means true or false. What is true and what is false, right? Okay, since certain people, only at least one, that's absolutely true. And you can say there's at least one is definitely false. All right, at least one is false, right? At least one who is spy is false. This statement is false too. So, does this statement have anything to do with you? No, I don't think so. You don't need to worry about it, all right? So, by applying that, we use the quantifiers. We know we don't need to worry about it, right? And most people don't need to worry about it. So that's what I'm saying. By analyzing into the different quantifier, all, some, or none, and we know that there's none of your business. Why should you be worried about it? All right, no need for that. All right. Second thing I want to mention is that if you just say it, there's no action. You should be involved in it. I mean, as long as nobody from FBI or CIA coming to your house to arrest you, no action, why should you protest? It doesn't make sense, right? It's a part of if it's not legally, you are violating the law of the local country, that is the United States or North America. And you are free to think, to speak, to say anything you want, as long as you don't slander or something other people, right? And you have the right to do that. It's so-called freedom of speech, right? So, as long as the action is not involved, you are free. You are totally free to say anything you like. And also remember, and the president, Donald Trump, right now is selected from the people, like you and me, like a common people. So he has the freedom of speech too. All right, he can say anything he wants to. That actually shows he is one of us. He can say anything he likes. Right? Okay, so what a big deal about this. So there's nothing to worry about. No action. He doesn't want the FBI to chase to every student, chase your door for that, to see if you're a spy or not. They didn't get you in and question you. Why should you worry about it? Right? It's the same case, right? I remember that many years ago when I was in China, when I talked to somebody in China, I wrote a letter to a long-lost friend, and eventually the friend got it, and wrote back to me. I thought you are from the CIA or something. Actually, that's a way of Chinese mentality. It's not American normally, right? So if it's possible you can think that way, but as long as there's no action and nothing illegal and nobody breaks the law, then you're fine, right? So don't worry about it. Okay, so that's my response. If you have that kind of mentality, you are sort of too insensitive. I mean, you are like some black people that as long as you mention something, they feel it's insulting or something. Well, no, you have a bullied mentality. I'll say that. You don't have a strong psychologically normal mindset. All right, in that case, I'll say that. So if you ask why the overseas Chinese in the United States don't protest, I think that's pretty normal. That means we are psychologically very strong. We are like the white folks. Right here, we don't worry about that. All right? Think about that. If anybody in China says every white people in China is from CIA, do you think they will launch a collective protest? I don't think so, right? Because it doesn't make much sense. And as long as you don't take action, nobody cares actually. All right, that's my first response to the question. Almost every student is a spy. Okay, that's being said, and let's come to the second one. The second question I want to talk about is the meeting, right? Right now it's going on in Beidaihe, right? Okay, here are a few things I want to think about that. Because it's prolonged, it's not over yet, and you don't know what will happen next. But there's several things we can at least make some judgment. All right. The first thing we know from this, I can certain that first thing, yeah, all right, the General Secretary of the Presidency has no absolute power as he claims he has, right? That is what I'm certain here. And he says, 定于一尊. No, he's not, right? Think about that. Does Mao Zedong need to say that? No, he doesn't need to, right? Because he does not have the authoritative power, so he tried to do that. Actually, not a lot following his saying, right? We know that, right? So means he has no absolute power. We can say that as a conclusion. That's for sure. So first one, he has no authoritative, no absolute power in China's politics. That's for sure. Secondly, from this we can see who then has absolute power in China. Who has it? All right, there's the old folks, there's the old guys, the old leader, retired. There's like 20 of them, basically. They have much more power over Xi, or at least they are in balance. They are sort of in a struggling with each other, trying to get a better hand over the other one, right? They are doing that at the moment. And we'll see who will come out. And whoever come out, we're just watchers, right? We can do nothing. But basically, we can say someone will come out, all right? Either Xi or the other one. Right now, it's somebody called, what's the name? Hu Chunhua. And he is sort of appearing to be flowing up and showing a lot of new roles in this Politburo thing, and probably he will, and that's I think not very bad to the Chinese, and because that regarding the trade war currently going on from China and U.S., and China will behave better to follow the international rules of business and the free market thing. So I think that will be better result if that's true, but possibly it is because his power is sort of eroded here, right? It's, he has no absolute power. He tried to gather enough power, but he failed. We can see that. And the party as a whole does not want to give Xi absolute power anymore, right? He tried to do that, he failed. We can see that. That's a conclusion, right? So, okay. Third thing I want to analyze is there is saying that right now, the meeting or conference or whatever you call it in Beidaihe will come out with the result. Either we go back to the planned economy 40 years ago, or we move forward, and that is discussion. Because the free market thing right now, and China participated to some extent, half of socialist planning economies, half of the joining the free market economy over the past 40 years. That cannot be played anymore in future, right? So you have to go either this side, the planned economy entirely, or go to the free market, join the world economic order to move forward with the rest of the world. All right, so that kind of a choice we are currently having, but the thing is, can we move back to the planned economy 40 years ago, as in China? And to my mind, well, let me add to this. A lot of people say that's possible because the Communist Party wants to keep power. That in that way, in the planned economy, they can still hang on the power, right? And being a dominant force in China. But to me, it's not possible. Why? Because think about this. And if she is a power here in the political struggle, and the old guards are the other. They have collective desire, that is to preserve whatever they get already, right? Their property, their money, their treasure, their position, their children's relatives. A lot of people related to this old guard thing, right? The second one, old guard thing, right? There's a lot. So if we think about that, if we really go back to the planned economy 40 years ago, do you think the old guards, can keep their property, keep everything they got over the 40 years? I don't think so. So there's no way that this kind of power from the old guard wanted to go that way. All right? That's very clear, right? If we go, let's say, according to Xi, even Xi wants to do the Marxism, to have a class struggle, right? To get rid of take over all the property from the old guards. It's very hard. Only from their part, from the old guards' perspective, it's impossible. They won't allow it. Since they can remove Xi if they want to, or they can at least influence Xi, they won't allow that to happen, right? So that's for sure. In other words, the logical conclusion is that that we are going back, after this meeting, going back to the 40 years of a social planned economy. It's a no say, all right? Not possible at all, right? So the only thing is we move forward. Okay, so after this, I want to say we have 3 results or outcome. Okay, the worst one is that Xi is still in power, but his authority gets eroded somehow, not as strong as it before. So it's weakened. Weakened Xi still hanging there on power, move forward, and trying to accommodate U.S. demands, President Trump's demands, and move along with the world. That's a possibility. That's the worst one, I think. Okay, the middle one, I think, is Hu Chunhua's going up, and Xi sort of either hides or maybe even fall down, and like other old lost power leaders in the past, and that's better one. And because that one, China will move along with the U.S., with the world in the free market economy. That's a better one, all right? And the best one, of course, is the entire Chinese Communist Party got overthrown, right? We'll restart to build a new country, a citizen society. That's the best result. But I doubt it if we can see that, or at least in the short term, it's very hard to achieve. There's many factors in this. Maybe if the U.S. will take over most of it, control it, but for the Chinese themselves, I feel that they're sort of don't have that kind of education, they can organize themselves to build a very rational and civilized society like that. All right, that's my thought. So that's my basic analysis, and I hope it will help you to understand a lot of current affairs, and also hope and your English learned can be used to talk about daily things and whatever interests to other people as a way of learning English. All right, thank you so very much for listening and watching. All right, see you next time.